3, 2.
All right, everyone, get ready for Moonrunes V2, playing some Outlast Glitchless No S&Q.
Good morning, everyone. I am Moonrunes, and we've got a little treat for you today. We've got an Outlast game at a speedrunning marathon. I'm just going to introduce my couch today. It's Yiddle, if you want to introduce yourself, mate.
Hey guys, my name is Yiddle. I speedrun horror games. I've spedrun Outlast, Resident Evil 7. You guys are in for a definite treat. This game is rarely entered into marathons and rarely accepted, so it should be a fun one.
Yeah, there was an interesting story behind this one. I would never submit this game for a marathon due to the graphic content of the game. As Yiddle said, it just never gets accepted, just because there is some forms of nudity, which we will call out, and we will also call out any over the top scenes. This game has a lot of bits in the minute that you would consider a little close to the cuff to be accepted. First interesting point in the game is we don't have to go through the intro cutscene. The rules stipulate we can start from the very first moment that we gain control of our character called Miles. So I'm going to load into the game now, and we will get ready to do a countdown. Yiddle, do you want to do it?
Yeah, sure.
Just an interesting point, I cannot move my camera until we start the run. I have to physically move Miles before I actually do anything else.
Right.
Otherwise it invalidates the run.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Right, and we're off. So, a couple of interesting things about this run that we're going to mention is the doors. So, doors are a little bit weird in this. As you saw that, I interacted with the door and then it seemed to fly open as quickly as possible. It's like a weird system with the way doors open in this game, because the game expects you to be sort of like slow. It expects you to be like holding down the buttons. It expects you to be slowing down, but if you just tap the interact button, it actually speeds up the interaction in game as well, which is interesting. We're just going to jump into this window. This game is extremely action packed as speedruns go. You'll be seeing me trying to get optimal lines everywhere. It's very optimal. And do you want to just go over jumping, Yiddle? It's going to be a bit front ended, guys, when we start running through this.
Yeah, so you've already seen it a bunch. Basically, every trigger, save maybe a few in the game, we're going to jump into. And that actually puts you into the animation of doing whatever the action is just a little bit faster. So, you know, any sort of crack that we have to climb through, any item that we have to pick up, pretty much any sort of trigger that we have to hit, we're going to jump to it. And that includes some of the doors in the game. So there's going to be a lot of jumping, and it's all intentional, and it's all very well timed in order to save the most time.
Yeah, so the reason we don't just jump everywhere, bunny hops are a thing in this game, and they are legal for the run. They're extremely hard to do. And you'll see, if you ever see the world record run of this game, they are bunny hopping in every single opportunity to maximize. Each bunny hop can save you like 0.4 seconds, depending on what sort of material you're in. So if you're in liquid, it's a lot more effective. So we will try and bunny hop the liquid sections in Cistern. We'll probably minimize the bunny hopping for the rest of the run, just because if it goes wrong, it doesn't really save you any time. It actually costs you a lot of time, and it's not really worth it in my sort of time level. So my PB in this run is a 52.45. Hopefully we'll get somewhere in that region. In my practice runs, I'm always there and thereabouts until something goes majorly wrong. The thing about this run is things go majorly wrong all the time. The clipping of Miles, your character, is extremely wonky at the best of times, and it can be extremely frustrating game to run, which I think anybody who's been around my stream recently will attest to. Seeing my rage at this game. I'm not an angry gamer, but boy, does this game really get me going.
Yeah, the game will make you rage even if you don't think it's built in. Oh, jump scares. There's a lot of jump scares.
This game, for anybody who's played this game casually, it's an incredible game. It is one of the best horror games I've ever played. It's just, there's so many good things going for it.
Yeah, back to back, they're constantly like sort of keeping you on edge. You're almost always being chased by something. You know, you're constantly being shown, you know, sort of disturbing and graphic things. Like they really do a pretty good job at freaking you out and just sort of disturbing you in general.
So, coming up now, we're going to get our first introduction to one of the main characters of the run, the sort of main antagonist, if you will, for like the majority of the first part of the game. His name is Steve in the community, or at least I call him Steve, and he's going to show up now. So he's generally your main threat generator for the first part of this run. Casually, Steve will scare the crap out of you. He will forever be the bitch you don't want him to be at, really making a thing. But what we're going to do, we're going to stand in a specific spot here so that he hits us there. That's just the minimum amount of knockback we can get. I actually got stuck on him a little bit, which is not good. I'm going to take a few steps and then jump. This saves time if I don't get stuck on a door and we come through. This is what I mean, though. The game is so optimized it would be getting seconds. And now it's time for us to sort of talk about one of the other main mechanics of the game, which is the camera. So do you want to go through like resource management and the camera?
Yeah, so your main resource, pretty much your only real resource in this game, is your battery life for your camera. And if you play this game casually, you'll know there's a lot of battery pickups, and there's a lot of spots where you can actually stock up on batteries. You could end the game with like 10 batteries realistically. Except since we're going fast, we're going to be trying not to pick up any batteries. So anytime Moon knows he can go in a straight line and he knows there's a door coming up, he'll put away his camera for a little bit just to maximize his battery life, because ideally, we don't want to pick up any more batteries.
I can actually run this whole section without the camera. The only reason I use the camera in this section is for optimization purposes, so I can make sure I'm not missing any of my corners, because we do have the spare battery life to save that we can use in these sections. So the game is extremely fast-paced, if you've not noticed already. This is non-stop 50 minutes of pure... it reminds me of games like Mirror's Edge that have a lot of... movement-based technique. There's no real, because we run glitchless, we don't utilize glitches. This game is extremely broken in terms of glitchless, to the point where the any % route for this game is about 8 minutes long, compared to about the 50. We're probably going to hit about 52, 53. It's a really interesting fact that the leaderboards in this game are extremely competitive. It's like, I don't feel like I've got a bad time at all, yet I still scrape the top 50 just because every second in this game gains you 5 spots. Which is, it's quite rare for a game to be this optimized. I mean, I don't know how you found it, Yiddle, but...
Yeah. Breaking into like that top 25, you can think you have a really good run, but it's very tight. I think we might have some donations. Now would be a good time.
We do. We have a 20-pound donation from Skip Electric. Thank you so much for that.
Wow,
And that
Skip,
did
what a
go
hero.
toward... I know. And that did go towards the dog ending percentage. So we are inching closer.
Nice. Let's get that dog %, guys. And gals.
No, we want more dogs. More dogs is always good. There's never a reason not to have more dogs.
This is sort of the second section of the game. It's the prison section, I guess, or...
Yeah, no, we finished admin block 1 basically now. There's not much we can do here. You don't need to hit any trigger points. We just need to wait for this door to be opened. We're going to jump down. We're going to aim to miss that pillar and get straight into the door there, and then jump into this trigger point. Again, we're going to just utilize the camera to know when we need to jump, but we don't really need it. You could. I think I could run this game blind now. Wouldn't be very quick, but I could definitely do it blind.
I think that is a category also.
Is it really? What, no camera?
No camera, yeah. I think
I didn't know that.
A miscellaneous category, yeah.
I might just do that one day just for fun. So yeah, we're going to come through. We're entering the prison block section of the game now. Kind of probably one of the most reset heavy parts of the game. There is a death point in this bit. So there is a high likelihood that I will die here. Interesting thing there is we actually have an audio cue on there to know when to run. Because if you've got momentum by the time the doors open, it actually saves you about half a second. Rather than just waiting at the doors and running. You're going to see the first instance...
you bump into the door.
Yeah, if you're too soon, you'll bump into the door. So we're going to push this door open using the door mechanics. And we're going to jump into the trigger. He's going to attempt to hit us and then hopefully get out of our way. That's fine. That went perfectly. We're going to attempt to jump past this guy here. Annoying. Oh, we got perfect. Nice.
Very nice.
This was very good. And then we're going to jump. Again, ledges. You see that little jump animation? We want to try and abuse that as much as possible.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
so you'll sort of jump before a ledge, and then you'll do the vault animation. It is very Mirror's Edge. Like this is secretly a parkour game.
It really is. There's a lot of movement. Like you see me jumping and then angling my character for ledges to clip them and stuff. That is an extremely intense part of this run and extremely big time saves. If you can nail them right. So we're just going across here. We're going past. We get introduced to the brothers here. I don't actually know the name of the brothers because I'm bad at video game lore. I don't know if you know Yiddle.
I have no idea. No, I didn't even know they had names.
I think they do. I think they're mentioned somewhere in the notes, but I did know it because I remember having a big discussion in chat about it. But thingy, so we're going to come through
mean.
Here. They are mean. They are. This is actually a pretty scary point in the run, so I'm just going to pass off to Yiddle. He can tell you why.
Yeah. So this is a section where it's a very frustrating section to learn because you can think you're doing the right thing and not do the right thing. Basically, we're going to jump out of a window. There's two guys in the hallway, and we need to squeeze past them. He did it perfectly. He does a little side jump there to get past them. If you try to do that casually, 9 times out of 10 you'll get stabbed until you sort of figure out the timing, and it's an instant death. So that was really good.
There's 2 instances of an instant death. I think in the run. I say an instant death. Getting grabbed out of any form of crouch animation by Steve will kill you if he's chasing you. And that section there, I think there's one other part of the section. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a few points where guys can just grab you and stab you.
Yeah, they're scripted events, and there's just nothing you can do about them. You just kind of have to thingy. We try and manipulate it as best as possible. The one bit I'm really worried about is after the outside section, which I will call out when we get there, because it's actually one of the biggest time losses to die at as well. So now we're going to come over here. You never jump into that point, interestingly enough, because it affects your ability to vault there. It's just something I've learned that you should not. That's one of the few places you won't jump into a trigger. I'm going to save as much battery as I can here, just by not thinking, because we want to end up with spare battery if we can, as much as possible, just because it gives us more options later, and it allows you to take later parts of the game with a lot more safety if you're not having to blindly run through it. Another jump scare there. That was actually probably my biggest jump scare in the thingy run because I just didn't expect it. And now we're going to be climbing up the prison box. This is an interesting part of the game, like, in terms of, like, playing it casually. Lots of stuff happening.
Jump scare city. We got 3 back-to-back.
The game really doesn't let up. Another thing I'd like to shout out in this game, we spoke a little bit about in the pre-game lobby, but this game has one of the most fantastic music scores and usage of music in horror that I've ever... Don't talk about it.
Oh, no.
Don't talk about it. It's fine. Alright, I don't think I've ever... I was a bit eager there.
That was an intended manipulation. It
yeah,
set something up for later.
Yeah, that guy down below, he'd have come and killed me if I hadn't have done this. I should have waited for the thing. I was being a bit ballsy, but there we go.
Yeah. There's some text here that usually prompts when it's safe to jump, but you can skip it as Moon did.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, this game has a really awesome music. The use of music in this game for atmosphere and stuff is insane, and very much adds to how the game works. Just going to come through here. I always find this bit very frustrating. I don't know why, but we're going down into Cistern now, which is an interesting part of the game. You can do a jump there to save time, but it's very hit and miss. But we're going to jump here. We're going to come over. Hop back, crouch, and get into the gap. It's the fastest way to do this little segment. And again, just getting in here. We're going to run, jump, look back, and we're going to drop down. And we're good. Game has an interesting feature there where it actually loads chunks of the game, and it can actually mess up with your mouse sensitivity if you're not careful. You've got to be very careful how you manipulate your mouse at very specific points in this run, because you can really ruin your run. You can fix it by adjusting your mouse sensitivity, but it's really slow. And the timer does not pause if you're in the menu, so every second you spend in the menu is time loss.
Once you run this game a couple times, you actually learn those load points, and you know, like, okay, I shouldn't be doing any exaggerated mouse movements during that part.
Yeah, no, it's a super interesting little quirk. 2 points I noticed it majorly happening is when you're outside for the first time. So now we're going to see Steve again. There's 2 things that can happen here. We're going to try and jump past him twice. So we're going to come through. Then we're going to jump. We took a hit there. Taking the hit there is pretty common. Not great, to be honest. It costs you a couple of seconds. The thingy. But you can take that hit for free, really. It doesn't really affect the run. Here's where we're going to use the camera a little bit, just to make sure we're hitting our points. And we jumped a little late there, but it's not the end of the world. And we're gonna come back past him, but the second jump is almost 100% in this run. But we're making good time. We're about 13 minutes into the run, so we're about a fifth of the way through the run already. Casually, it feels like, I feel like this point, like you're not that far into the game really, but the game really just picks up later on. So we're gonna jump there, and you just get past him straight away. It's really quite simple, and then we just want to time our jump there. And we're coming through. So yeah, that's kind of the main. I would say this game doesn't really have boss fights, but those sorts of arenas with Steve are probably the closest thing. We got a rather long
record. Now that we're past it, dying in that section sends you way back.
Oh, it's horrific. Yeah,
it's like 2.5 minutes back.
It takes you back to the bottom of the prison block, I think.
Yeah.
If memory serves. I've not died there in a long old time, so
I didn't want to mention it until we were done.
No, I've not died there. I'm going to be trying doing a lot of this blind now because I want to conserve this battery. I'm going to jump again into the ladder. You'll see me doing this a lot. It looks a lot better. Like it looks hard, but you're basically going. The only time you'll see me running in the dark with the camera down is when I know I'm pretty much going in a straight line and I'm ready for the next section. So all I did there was jump twice, even though you couldn't really see. So we're pushing forward here. We're going to do a quick door at the end of this hallway. Just to give you an essence of where I am versus my PB, I'm about 30 seconds off PB pace at this point, even though it's been a relatively clean run. Interesting thing about this ladder is one of the few you can just like jump down. Don't know why you can just jump down on that ladder. You can't do it in any other ladder of the game, and you cannot jump into the top of that ladder either, because this game is very weirdly specific with what clips and glitches you can use without breaking the rules. Because you can, like, you've seen me, I'm not sure if you've seen it yet, I think it's after the segment where I go down, you'll see me kind of clip through some rails and stuff, and that's perfectly legal in this run. You'll also see me utilizing that on vents as well, because if you use angular momentum dropping out of the vents, you can actually gain a little bit of a boost. These are just pretty much set paths here, so I can only go so far and see where I'm going. We jump immediately up there, and now we're going into prison block. Cistern.
There's a few sections with like janky animations, but those aren't technically glitches. Basically, you know, as long as you're not breaking the game, it's not a glitch. But if you do get into running this game, I suggest.
Oh, we almost got all the B hops. We got 2 of them.
That was really nice. That was really nice. That was way better than I could do.
We got 1 B hop there. So you ideally want to B hop the whole section here. But I only got 1, but if you get all of them, it can save you like 2.5 seconds. It's really nice. I'm gonna keep pushing forward. So now we're coming into male ward, is this? Yeah, male ward. I always forget between male and female. We're going to try and jump past this guy. We didn't quite get past him, but it's kind of to be expected. So this is the railing we were talking about. That's going to come up now, where you'll see me just sort of walk, and then I'll get about halfway down, and it just becomes a suggestion. And you see your own legs sort of fly through it. Just an interesting point, for those of you who don't know the category titling, this is Glitchless No S&Q, and No S&Q stands for No Save and Quit, because this game has quite a big save and quit abuse feature that you can utilize in the run. So there's no saving and quitting in this run. You have to come around to the edge of this one. That's a point where the mouse can get a bit funny, but you're going to see me now start pushing crates. These crates are hella frustrating. It's so hard to tell how far you need to push them. Like, it's super annoying.
And there's one in specific where if you don't push it far enough and you come back later, you're super screwed.
Yes, no. And if you die, that also resets, so you have to bear that in mind. So I'm just going to look across the edge here and make sure I'm past the door frame just for safety. Usually I would cut that a little finer, but it's super annoying. One of the jankiest vents in the game here. Take the safe route, and we're straight up, yeah. Usually I would try and do that. So you can do something called quick jump in there that allows you to jump up a lot faster, and it clips you through the bottom of the grate. But I didn't do that there just because it's not safe at all. This was not the drop I thought it was. It's fine. So now we're going to see my favourite line. Want meat. Never quick open that door either, because it's actually a glitch. So many random things you have to remember in this run, just to make sure your run's valid.
This learning this section is really tough because
It really is.
You'll get turned around, and then the dudes will be just totally in your way, and it's, you know, it's basically over at that point.
So this is where you're going to see me clip through the vent a little bit there. Oh, I didn't get it. You don't want to get shoved out to the side like that. This bit feels very satisfying to do this bit, as long as you get this bit right. So this is another death point here. I'm going to take it a little safe. Yeah, we're fine. Nice.
Nice.
So there's 2 animations you can get there. You'll find that fingertip animations is what we aim for all the time, because they're a lot faster. Because of the urgent sort of position that Miles is in, it's very important that we get those things. He pulls himself up a lot faster. Do you want to talk a little bit about the story? I forgot about
the story. Well, we're a reporter, and we're at a mental asylum, sort of, to investigate based on a tip that we received. And we get here, and we're immediately sort of plunged into this nightmare where there's been sort of body horror and testing on humans, and, you know, nobody's really running the place. It's kind of just a mess. And now we're meeting Traeger.
Traeger, yeah. So Traeger is one of the doctors at the Institute that's obviously fallen with the sort of plumed into insanity with everyone else. Actually, he seems like a rather nice fellow on first meeting. Offers you a drink, offers to take you outside. A little bit weird he straps you in a chair, but you know what? With all the people he's had to deal with, I could see an argument for it.
His dialogue is really great. The
voice it is amazing.
Such a good time doing this, I can tell.
He's a very good character in this game, and he's vastly underutilized. If you read through all the notes and stuff, you'd learn a lot more about him, and he's really cool. Interesting point, the DLC of this game actually runs in tandem with the main storyline. Yiddle touched upon it in terms of story. The tip that you come to check out is actually the DLC characters tip, and you play in the game side by side, and the game actually cross-tracks itself through the DLC and the main game, so you will visit areas that both characters go through at different time frames, which is really cool. I'm just going to throw out a warning here. There is some ass, and there also is some extremely graphic things that happen in this cutscene. This is the one cutscene that we can't really skip in this game, I guess. There's a couple throughout it which are in-game cutscenes that you can't do anything about. It's about 2 minutes long, so if we do have any donations at the minute, Sarah, it's probably a good time.
Yeah.
No donations yet, but we are just under 37 pounds away from the pork run. Please, guys, we need to see all the cutesy doggy percentages for Silent Hill 2.
If everybody donates £1, Sarah will make that noise after every donation. And we need more of that noise in our life, the little bark. I love it. It's my favourite thing. But yeah, so there's an extremely graphic section coming up, so I don't know if anyone's having breakfast, but probably don't want to see. We're gonna take a fight. This is a man who does some squats, by the way, guys. We're gonna have a quick peek. You've got to have a quick peek.
He's definitely got the butt.
Look at that. I mean, we're gonna look away now, but he squats with 2 wheelchairs in either arm. He really goes to town.
I call this the Traeger warning because it is a bit gruesome. There's some like sort of mutilation, decapitation, and then we throw up. So if you don't want to watch that, just look away.
Close your eyes if you're having breakfast, everyone in the UK and Europe. You know, shut those eyes for this section. I can't do much for the noise, but you know. I'm sure you'll get over it eventually. But...
yeah, it moves us to look at our hands during the
It does, yeah. There's no way to avoid it, but you know, we can just look at his face for now. He's a very fine-looking gentleman, a distinguished face, I think you'd agree. And he's got a cool steampunk monocle. I mean, who doesn't love cool steampunk monocles?
I've always said he looks like the doctor guy from Nightmare Before Christmas.
You know what? Yeah, I never thought of that. That's pretty cute. So I will. He also
we did
slaps
get
us.
a donation in. We have a £5 donation from Sase that says pork.
That's the greatest noise.
I love it.
So we're over the worst of it now. Unfortunately, we are now 2 fingers down. As you can see.
Specific, I don't think.
I think he chose 2 of the worst fingers. When I think about it, one's his mouse clicking fingers, and one of them is his strafe like Q finger for the keyboard.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, so he's cut off 2 of the. In my opinion, he's just cut off 2 of the worst keyboard. I mean, it's just a horrific travesty of a. We've lost a gamer today, guys, and
he'll never frag
big
again.
Fs.
Oh, no.
He'll never frag again. He won't. So now, yeah, we regain control of Miles here, and Miles is a little worse for wear. We're going to hit a little cutscene here. I'm not going to look at that guy, just because he's thingy. But now we're stuck in the Traeger section. So this is probably one of my favourite sections of the run. Very technical. It's quite cool the way it works. But we're going to have a chase section with Traeger. He is an interesting little section. It requires a lot of micro movements and a very specific order of actions to make sure you can get through this section without dying, which hopefully I will pull off without cause. So what we're going to do, that guy's going to start yelling, which attracts the doctor himself, and we're just going to wait as close to the door without being knocked back as possible. So here he comes. There he is. His AI can't interact with you for a couple of seconds, and we know where we're going. So we're coming through here to escape him, and there we go.
This
so
is
now
like
this
a
is
series of thinking you escaped and then realizing you did not escape.
yeah. This is the bit Yiddle was talking about, so I'm going to spend an extra second here making sure this is all sorted. There we go, we got the extra push there. So usually you would wait for the second one, and we're going to come down. So we're going to do a very specific sequence of movements here where we jump here to avoid a hit. We run in, we turn around, we jump back, and we close the door. Excellent, perfect. That's just the easiest way to deal with it, because we have to, the reason we trap him in there is because we have to push this one. And we need to make sure that's well past. There we go. And by the time he gets out that door now, we're free. And that was pretty flawless. We've got one more section coming up now. We always jump to the left side of vents, as you saw there. I missed the clip, but it's there. We generally always jump to the left side because it's actually quicker to clip in from the side of the vent than it is to go straight on. So that's why you'll see me jump a little bit off camber for all the vent entries to try and clip into them from the side. You're going to see me drop out here in a very specific direction. You always want to be facing the way you're going when you drop out of a vent. It's just a lot faster. And now we're going to do our final little section here. We're going to grab a key. And we're going to crouch right at this intersection here. And I'm going to wait and I'll look at the door. So he breaks in. We want to run at the right time, which we didn't quite get, but we took the one hit. It's fine. It costs us a second to get trapped there, but you can get through there without getting stuck at all. And we're home and dry.
That was tight.
Yeah, that was alright.
Really
That was
nice.
alright. Apart from the hit coming through the door there. That's this section completed, so not a bad section. No major disasters. And we are pushing in for about, I would say, the halfway point, maybe just under the halfway point of the run now.
Yeah. Traeger hits pretty hard in that section too. I think you can only take like 2 hits.
Yeah, it's 2
before,
hits max.
yeah,
You can
so-
recover if you hide for a while, and then you can go back to your 2-hit state, but he does. So now we're going to just immediately whip ourselves up to interact with this door here. And we're going to pop up. So this is where the game, I think, spikes in difficulty, in my opinion. I think there's a lot more stuff can go wrong from these sections offwards, in terms of minimal time losses anyway. Because this game, once you hit a sub 53:30, becomes a game of just managing time loss and making gains where you can. Because you'll find you're constantly bleeding time if you don't match what you did perfectly, and it's so optimized you can't really gain the time back. So break through the door there. That's a quick door we can use. I've still got my second battery, actually. I forgot to load up my new battery, which I'm going to do here quickly. You can't interact with anything while the camera's going. Also, weird little thing here where you have to hop everywhere because of the heat. It's just faster than walking. So we're going to aim to minimize our hops. That wasn't actually too great for I got stuck on a ledge. You can generally 3-4-3 that one, I think, is what I aim for. And there we go. You don't want to jump too late into there, and we're good. Nice. So we're going into another Chris section now. The game just does not let up at this moment in time. It's constant, one after the other. You've just got to deal with it.
This is a pretty tough section.
Do we have any times for donations?
Yeah, go for it. I'm just running simulator here.
Yeah, we have a £15 donation from I'm gonna try. Is it Chocoletti? That says,
Oh.
just woke up, so I can't string a proper sentence together. But well done, everyone, for raising money for such a worthy cause. Less than 3.
Well, thank you, Choco. I was actually up chatting to Choco last night about this run up to like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. So I appreciate you waking up to come and drop a donation. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
And we are just under 17 pounds away from the bork bork ending.
Let's go, chat. I really want to see the bork bork. I mean, I could go for it maybe if we got the thing. We're just going to jump past Steve again here. Steve's going to chase us. He sounds like he's right up your bum at this point, which nobody likes, given his hangry disposition. You don't want somebody like Steve right up your. I'm not going to say it. Yeah, we got through that solidly. That was a good section. Yeah. You can actually jump on top of these. I did it once, and it was super weird, and I've never done it again. And it's super awesome. There we go. That was good. You can get a bunny hop off the top a bit like that, which gets you into this cutscene a little bit faster.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, but keep the donations coming in, guys. We really wanna hit that bork incentive. Can you do a cute bork? Yiddle.
Bork bork.
God.
Bork bork.
I'm loving it.
I'll let Sarah do it.
Alright, so this is the one if you were gonna pick up the safety there's a safety battery in there. It's probably the one safety thing you can do without costing yourself too much time. I'm gonna take a little thing here. Nice. So now we meet our next sort of unknown enemy, I guess you would say. We don't really know much about this guy for a while. Do you want to introduce him?
Yeah, this is Wall Rider, which...
Great.
So yeah, believe it or not, he's not a pro skateboarder, although maybe in his past life.
Maybe that's where his name came from.
Yeah, he's sort of just a spooky ghost, and he follows us around. I mean, he's not, he's sort of not our worst enemy. He's kind of like neutral, but he will kill us if we give him the chance.
Yes.
Nice.
So yeah, we got through that
tight
section.
Roof jumps there.
Yeah, the roof jump there will actually break your entire run if you do not make it. So because it messes up with your timer, which doesn't invalidate your run, but kind of just ruins it for everybody involved. That went wrong. So this is a bit where I will not touch my mouse now until I see my camera flash, and then I'll regain control. So it's another place where your mouse can just completely mess up there. You'll see me just clipping my camera here, just to give me a suggestion of where I am. And we jump, and we get out. Yeah, let's go. 17 quid, guys. Let's make it happen. We're going to come through. Steve's going to be out here doing his thing. Nobody likes you, Steve. Go away. And we're going to climb up here. I did that blind, and I regret my decision instantly when it happened. So, Yiddle, I'm going to leave you to talk about this section because I die here a lot, and I don't want to die because it's a big reset point.
So this is a pretty tight. We have to get really close to Steve here, and he can sort of chase you down, and basically I think all of the enemies can sort of pull you out of crevices and holes, but Steve especially. And let's sort of see. Moon's gonna have to sort of bait him. Yeah.
No, I think I'm okay. Yeah, I'm good. Oof, he knocked me way too far back. Yeah. I was trying to get him to knock me forward into where I needed to go, but he knocked me back around the corner, which was hella terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, so that was far from the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is you're crawling through the hole and he pulls you out of the hole, and then you have to run back down the hallway just to get him out, which happens to me a lot in my runs. Yeah, no, it's an insane, because you've got to do it in such a way to be quick. It's thingy. So I think casually this is probably one of the most confusing sections of the game. Yeah, there's 3 dark hallways. If you played this game casually, you definitely remember this. And in each of the hallways is a dude, and as we aggro dudes, they follow us. So what we're trying to get here is we need 3 fuses to start the elevator, and in each of these weird, like, sacrifice rooms almost, there's the fuse conveniently laid out there next to a guy who's going to aggro us. So now this guy's going to be chasing us basically for the rest of this section. They can all sort of appear, and we're doing this in such an order that it's the most efficient to get all of the fuses and then get back to that main elevator area.
I'm gonna close this door for safety.
Yeah, you can.
I took 2 hits there.
Yeah. Oh god, you're scaring me, dude.
Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
Yeah, so this is a really tight movement section. The dudes can trap you in between doors, and there's not much you can do about it. But fortunately, we only need our last fuse, and Moon's back.
I'm ever healed. Yeah, I'm healed now, which is fine. Means I can get all 3, because you have to take a hit here. Basically, if I'd have hit this next section, and he was here, he can basically just... Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. I think because I locked him in, it's fine. I swore that. I do apologize.
I didn't hear a thing. I just heard bork, bork.
Bork, bork, bork. I'll even do it. I need to get that high pitch.
All right, we're out of that section. Let's just forget that ever happened. That didn't even happen. I don't know what you're talking about.
You can actually cost yourself a bazillion seconds as well by falling down those holes. So don't do that.
It's a really nerve-wracking section. Yeah, yeah, I've fallen down those holes many times too.
I thought it was just me.
We did get a donation in.
Let's go.
Let's go.
It is a 6.69 donation from Skoyborg that says, I heckin' borks and I need them now.
That's cute.
I love these borks.
That's just not a good one. I'm going to not do that again.
10 pounds to borks.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, nice.
Here we go. Okay. I think my time is scuffed.
We were talking about this pre-run, but this is a very volatile sort of run where you can save 20 seconds, you can lose 20 seconds, and small mistakes can end up costing you way more time than you would expect.
So on my PB, I actually fall back down this hole and cost myself 30 seconds, which is obviously not ideal.
Yeah. Nice. You didn't fall down. Free 30
No, I
seconds.
didn't. There's a free 30-second time save. It's not quite. This bit you can actually die in if they get to you, so you gotta watch out here.
Oh yeah.
Pushing it with this camera. We lose our camera here. Just spoilers.
In like 10 seconds.
In about 10 seconds, we lose our camera here. So this is actually a section of the game which casually is incredible because you lose your one sort of safety net here, which is really cool. And you actually lose the camera, so you lose your ability to see in the dark. Because it, very unlikely set of circumstances, but, it happens. You see a guy walk in down there, but I don't think it really even plays a part. Little optimal jump you can do here. If you nail it, you saves yourself a couple of seconds. Yep, there we go. Nice. Perfect.
Casually, when you lose your camera in this section, it's like, this is when you're like, okay, now what do I do? This whole area is all dark. There's a lot of like sort of winding hallways. And as you'll see shortly, once we do get our camera back, it angers the boys. This angers greatly.
Angers the boys. Yeah, the boys get angry. You're in the cafeteria. They think you're stealing their donuts. They're not a fan of it. I'm just like, yo guys, I'm just after my camera, and like, no, you stole my beans. You stole my beans, Tim. And
the second you get the camera back, they're after you.
Oh yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
I know the game, so I just know how to get back through here blind, which is always nice. Don't have to waste any camera really. And we're going back up. Once you hit this point, you're safe again, which is always nice. Yeah. Again, I need to replace my camera battery at some point, but finding a good opportunity because it stops you doing things is hard. I'm going to replace it now. So this is my final battery now to the end of the game, which is nice. We run through here. I never know really what the optimal path is here. I know we got to get there. Probably cut that a little bit. And there's a hole in the floor that we got to be careful for. There, and we're through. We got a lovely jump to make. You can actually die here. I'm going to play it safe and take a jump. That was slow. Generally, if you can make it to the door frame, you can actually not get a stagger animation there. I don't know if I'm forgetting about anything, but apart from this little bookshelf that you can get infinitely stuck in, that happened to me on some of my first runs, I'm past a lot of the worst stuff for the run now. There's a few bits and bobs that can happen, but generally it's not too bad. We see our boy here.
The battery definitely isn't as needed, sort of from this point on, where, you know, having one battery at this point is absolutely safe. The last 10 or so minutes are no battery needed.
It's nice to have one once you get to labs, but it's not required. Just for optimization purposes. Here's a friend. He's chilling in a vent, but we need to get through. So we're like, excuse us, sir. I need to go.
See ya.
Yeah, see ya. And I kind of like this segment. This is a very late, intense segment of the run, which is kind of cool in my opinion. Got through there really well. You can do I call it clipless through there, where you don't get stuck on a single thing and you just sort of flow through the entire thing. Like you Miles' body. I nearly called him Ethan then. For those of you who don't know, my primary background is in Resident Evil 7 speedrunning, and this is this is where I know Yiddle from really well, and we just both happen to pick up this game as well. You want to bounce off those things there? You want to bounce off both of those things because it stops you doing a slow fall animation, and then we're just making our way through. Gonna come through here and try not to get stuck on anything.
The little optimizations in this game are really what makes it. When you sort of pick up this game and you start to learn it, you'll quickly realize, like, okay, I can bunny hop, but to do it perfectly and actually save time is a whole other game in itself almost.
Yeah, it really is. Oh god, that made me jump.
Or.
We get a £10 donation from Kelly's Modern Life that says, for the doggos, also go Moon go. And with that, we have made our donation goal for the dog percentage ending. So please...
I don't know what I'm doing, I'm dancing. Just having a dance.
And we also just got a $20 donation in from Project Mayhem 7 that said, I stayed up late to watch my favorite streamers, Moon and Andy. Love the cause.
Oh, thank you, Project. What a cutie. And thank you to everybody who stayed up to watch from the Americas. I mean, that is some dedication, and I really appreciate you guys being here. And thank you, Kelly and Project, for the donations.
Yeah,
both absolute cuties. Let's go.
Smashing those donation goals.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
We got the bulk, guys. I'm excited to watch this later now. So I'm kind of in cruise control right now. I can't actually remember what I'm supposed to be doing.
That door, worth mentioning, that guy can insta-kill you. That's another point of insta-death that Moon just casually kind of skipped past.
I didn't know you could die there. I'm terrified of that section. So I've got the luxury of using my battery here. Fortunately, because I've done so much battery management. I don't know why I did so much, but we're through. And now this is where we bump into everyone's favorite Father Martin again. Little bit of a weird section. This window can also be really weird for clipping. Like, you can get stuck on that window for so long and it ruins a run right at the end. It's super annoying just to not be able to clip into this ledge. But really appreciate all the donations, guys. That's freaking awesome. I can't believe we made the incentive, which is incredible. Let's go, guys. Now we're going to not look at anything except what we need to look at here. Just going to throw out a slight nudity warning here. If anyone doesn't want to see... What was the term you used before, Yiddle?
Yeah, there's a couple wieners here.
There's a couple of wieners, yeah. So we're going to look... We're going to do a nice infinity wiener circle here to ward off the wieners.
We can avoid them.
Yeah, we can. So I'm doing this for you, chat. We're doing the infinity circle to keep out the bad wieners and make sure we all stay safe and avert our eyes.
I'm kind of hungry at the moment. I would love to have a
do you want a little?
No,
would you like a little look at sausage? Would you like to have a tiny peek?
Dill.
Just for you, Sarah.
No. My borking eyes can't handle it.
I think they might. I'll look at the roof for the next bit. They're very handsome. Just look at that face. So cute. Yeah.
So just to explain, we're not just killing time. There is a cutscene. We can't go through the door.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to look at the cutscene either.
Yeah.
You can tell by the noises. It's not a particularly pleasant one, and we're through. With breathing nudity. Oh my.
Nice.
There we go.
You handled that like a true professional.
And that was, yeah, that was the bit I was most worried about. This is why this game does not get accepted into marathons. It's not very friendly. But here we go. So Steve here, pretty annoying. He's just going to hit me once, which is fine. We just need to come through here, not get stuck on anything, and safe. Actually way more intense than it feels. There, which isn't the end of the world. I think you can drop off there without getting the slow animation, but now we are, we feel like we're free. We've got another key and we're out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so nice. We're stuck in a cutscene for a minute. This actually would be a perfect time for a donation before we hit the final segment of the run, if we do have one or two more.
Nothing at the moment, but I will plug that we still have the Limbo optional bosses for Ultra Kill and the guitar percentage guitar controller for Resident Evil 3 Remake targets still available, as well as it looks like the Dark Dante costume is coming up, and that one's winning for the polls.
That's awesome. Yeah, make sure we get those incentives back, guys. That's some pretty good shit.
And I lie, we just got one donation in for £1.50 that says, I never knew that Outlast was Mirror's Edge Horror Edition. Also, yay for Bork Bork coming from Bakuda.
Ah, Bakuda. What a dude. Makes an awesome bot if you didn't know.
Yeah, I know that guitar percent is going to be
I'm really hyped for that. I've got the rest of the day
fire.
to just chill and watch these runs now, so I'm pretty hyped.
This is sort of like a final section. There's not too much drama here. Like not too much.
There really isn't.
Impending threat. There is a lot of optimization here, and if you'll watch the world record, there's like bunny hops all through here because it's all straight lines.
Like,
it's funny.
Yeah, that just didn't work. Let's not do that again.
One
more time. Oh, we got one. But for everyone that I failed, I lost a bit of time, so feels good.
Yeah, I remember when I was learning this game, somebody came in my stream and they saw me trying to do bunny hops, and they were like, "Dude, just don't."
Yeah,
just don't.
That is my advice to anybody in this game. There's very few places where jumping through water, it's a lot easier. We see our friend Wall Rider here. Do you know he's got like chicken feet? Did you ever notice that?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, did you ever? I noticed that a couple of weeks ago. I was like, he's actually got chicken feet. It's super weird. So now we're gonna meet kind of a major character that's just sort of like not like hidden for the most of the run. There's a lot of story that goes on in the final parts of this game to explain why thingy, but yeah, very much horror's Mirror's Edge. This game, I've played Mirror's Edge and I can feel the similarities in the games, in the way they handle and stuff. But I just think Outlast has a much better story. Yeah, controversial opinion.
Arguably, yeah.
I just think the Outlast series is an incredible horror series, and it definitely doesn't get as much love as it deserves from a speedrunning sense. But it is also extremely frustrating, as I think Yiddle can attest to.
Well, it's rough around the edges, but honestly, it has a lot of charm, and like, you know, there is so much satisfaction in getting jumps correctly and jumping into triggers right, and sort of like optimizing your movement to the max. It feels like you're basically playing a racing game.
yeah, it really is. It is almost like you're playing a racing game. It's very much like that. I'd like to I'd just give you a quick shout out, Yiddle, because I asked Yiddle last night, like whether he could help me out here, because I have never expected to run this game at a marathon, so my commentary would have been incredibly lacking without you, Yiddle. So I really appreciate you doing this, man. It's such short notice.
Thank you, dude.
It's just one of those things that I never expected to do, to be honest, guys. So, yeah, it's really nice to be able to get to show it off at a marathon. It's like Yiddle said, it doesn't get enough love. It's rough around the edges, but it's a lot of fun at the same time. So, yeah, if you need help with it, just hit us up.
Yeah, we're always sort of willing to lend a hand when it comes to teaching speedruns and stuff like that. If you're ever wanting to pick this game up, me or Moon, we're not the best, but we'll lend a helping hand.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, I know there's a few people. I'm trying to persuade a couple of people to get involved so we can do some events and stuff. So eventually we'll get there. But yeah, so we're gonna hit quite a few doors here. It's important to do our optimizations. So what we're waiting is for the sound of the gas to stop. And then we run, once we hear the sound of the gas stop, we wait about 1 second, and then you run forward. Which is the optimal way to do that. We're going to come through here. This door is janky AF. It's such an annoying door, and we got the good thing there. Nice, okay.
I've been ended up on top of that door before.
Yeah, it's very weird. I should really be jumping into most of these doors. I've been kind of just taking it really safe, but we're getting there. And now we've got to go activate a few valves here, because we're trying to basically destroy Walrider at this point in the story. We've spoken to the scientist who's told us who and what Walrider is and why it exists, and now we're just like, well, we got to stop him. So we are messing around with some stuff that we probably shouldn't be messing around with. We're going to aim to jump off here, and we're going to boot off there.
That was nice. Walrider is sustained by... I didn't even know you could actually do that one. He's sustained by this elaborate laboratory just underground here, and fortunately it's unoccupied and unmanned, so we have no problem cruising through and messing with all the dials.
Plot twist, that was Walrider just floating in his own juice right there, just being all juicy. If that was Ethan, I'd say he covered in butter. But he isn't. Right. Key thing, never jump at this door, because it's way slow. Just run through it. Took me so long to get that into my head that I don't jump at that door.
Yeah. All the cracked doors you can basically push your way through, and it's faster, but any closed double door you would want to jump into generally.
Yeah.
Now we have the never-ending staircase.
Yeah, it feels awful doing this, but it's kind of nice when you nail it. You just get into a nice thingy, and then we jump over. This is why it's nice just to have a load of camera through this one specific section.
Yeah, there's a lot of objects you can bump into here. Very nice.
I got caught a little bit, but it's fine. Jump up there, and we are in. And we're in. There we go. Nice. Gonna definitely do some stuff. We totally know what we're doing. We're not just a reporter. We're also electrician extraordinaire. Just gonna be lazy here and do that. I don't know if it's quicker or slower, but I think it's actually quicker to walk around in that section.
I've been jumping off that railing just because it looks cooler. I'm like
yeah, it
ninja.
does. We got to be cool. Hardcore parkour, guys.
Exactly.
Yeah. Interesting thing that happens here. Our friend decides he doesn't want us going back. And so they kind of Walrider's discovered what we're trying to do at this moment. He's trying to save himself. Fortunately, Miles has like bones of steel and just falls like 100 foot, but doesn't suffer any ill effects from that.
Yeah, right. He gets up real quick too.
Yeah, he does. I mean, if I fell from that distance, I don't think I'd be walking away or running.
That's like the 4th or 5th time we've fallen in the game too. So, just no problem there.
That is effectively, and we're still going. The game doesn't end until we hit the section that we'll call out. We'll give you a small cooldown. The time's pretty good at the minute. We're currently still sub 52 minutes for the game timer, which is pretty good considering my PBs are 52:45. We're probably going to be within close to my PB, which is always good. So we're just getting kind of beaten up here by Walrider. He's chucking us around. He's doing his things. But he does something to us quite specific here, which is relevant later on. It's specifically relevant in the Whistleblower DLC as well. So he's been attacking us, and all of a sudden he disappears, and his body is actually dead now. Don't want to give any spoilers, but we're not really going to see the thing. So this is a bit of a walking simulator now. There's nothing we can do. You can do some accidental glitches here, so you've got to be careful. But this bit I always find very strange way to end a game. I don't know whether you think this bit's a little bit weird.
I absolutely think it's weird.
Yeah, we'll probably watch the end cutscene, actually.
I mean, I guess it's fitting. And then it's sort of like what you hear after the cutscene ends sets you up for everything else. So it makes a lot of sense.
So this is where you kind of realize that something's not quite right. We should really be dead at this point in time, but we're not. Just with the amount of punishment we've taken off Wall Rider and stuff. But I don't know if it explains it now or explains it in the DLC, but what has basically happened is we are possessed. I don't think it explains it at the end of the game, but we have Wall Rider inside us right now. You see, we're playing host, and that's time. As soon as your hand hits the floor there, sorry, probably should have preempted that. Well, that was a 53-minute flat, so that was only 15 seconds off my PB.
That was really good.
That was actually a pretty good run overall. I don't know where I lost those 15 seconds, but that felt pretty good, and I'm pretty happy with that. It's a nice place to showcase. As we see, just to mention, this is all a big corporation that's done all this, that runs the mental asylum. So if you read the game and the notes and the lore and stuff, the Murkoff Corporation is the big bad guy in this, and they're the people orchestrating all the strings. That's a lot more explained in the DLC and stuff. Like, the DLC really ties this game and finishes it up. But yeah, so guys, that has been Outlast Glitchless No S&Q. Not the worst run, not the best run, but I'm pretty okay with the time there, 53. And yeah, I want to give a shout out to Yiddle for commentating on this at short notice, and it's late for him. He is in big old America, so yeah, awesome run, guys. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm glad I got to showcase this game. Do you have any shout outs you want to do, Yiddle?
Yeah, man. Moon, thank you so much for having me on, and all the tech and staff behind Thunderthon. Thank you guys so much for putting on this event and benefiting the Worldwide Veterinary Services. I really love it.
No, it's a great charity.
Yeah, and we've been absolutely crushing these incentives and everything, and I wanna see everybody keep up that hype.
But yeah, we'll pass it back off to Sarah now. If you've got any closing comments for the run, we're pretty much done.
That was an amazing run. Thank you so much for one of the best commentaries I've had to witness in a long time. You're amazing with that, Moonrunes. You shine with commentary.
Thank you, Sarah.
And thank you to chat for all the borks and meeting that incentive goal for the next run coming up. I am going to be handing over the hosting over to Tainted Tally. This was my last run for the night. I've been up for 24 hours.
Oh, really? Holy moly.
Again, my name's Sarah Avium. I'm sleepy. And thank you for letting me host for you, Moonrunes.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you guys so much.